Sometimes it's necessary for the same person to work the front parts counter with invoices and sales, and also the inventory clerk position. Let's take a look at the different screens used by each position to perform a parts search. On each course screen, use the forward and back buttons at the bottom to navigate. When you are working the front counter in parts, a lot of time is spent making quotes and rolling them into invoices. To do that, we need to find parts. Let's take a look at how we can find parts in the system. Let's look for a part from the point of view of a parts counter person. We'll start from the Parts section on Release Essentials. In Launch, we type I to begin. After typing I, press Enter. Now we're in the Parts Display screen. Inside the Invoice field, because next to the red letters on the right saying Parts Display is that I for Invoice in parentheses. Now we want to go to Parts. Start by selecting the Number text box. In the Number text box, type P for Parts, and then press Enter to get to the Parts prompt. Now we're in the Parts screen. You can see to the right of we found a part, an F-grill. It looks like we have 2 on hand. Press Enter. Now let's search for another partial part description entry area. Type in a partial number like this, equal symbol, 1028, then press Enter. Our parts display screen fills with parts matching the partial number. We see the one we want, the very first one, the clip molding part. We select it by clicking in that little box to the left of the part number. Then click the F3 Save Add button. Perfect! We see the clip molding part added to our list, and we have 8 of them on hand. Select in the parts the F3 Save Add button. Perfect! We see the clip molding part added to our list, and we have 8 of them on hand. Select in the parts number field, and then we press Enter. Since this is just a practice exercise, let's click F4 Cancel, which will take us from the parts screen back to the invoice screen. Clicking F4 again once we are on the invoice screen returns us to the screen we started on. Now we are back to the parts area on the Release Essentials page after taking a quick look at finding parts from the point of view of a parts counter person. It's useful to be able to search and find parts from a variety of search parameters. Let's take a look at some of those categorical ways to search part information. Here's the situation. You want to know if you have a part in inventory. Somebody gave you a part number on a piece of paper, but the paper is torn or smudged. You only have part of the number, and you know it's for a water pump. That's okay, we'll find the part. We'll start by using the fast lane, tucked away on the right side of the screen. Select the magnifying glass to pop out the fast lane. We're going to look at the part from a parts inventory point of view. As you can see, there are several different ways to search available to you. Select the part number search link. The parts number search screen appears. By searching for a part number, we can search by the whole number or part of it, and we don't need to use the dash or asterisk separators. You can also search if you don't know the part number, but you know the description. Enter the description in all caps, press Enter, or click on Search. All pumps now appear. Let's narrow the search by the code 600. Select the source field. Type 600 into the source box and press Enter. All 600s appear. This lets us find parts under source 600, which is a specific manufacturer, and we are still under the larger category of pumps. These are all the pumps by the number 600 manufacturer. Let's scroll over to the OH column. When we click the OH or on-hand header, it sorts in ascending or descending. These are all the pumps by the number 600 manufacturer. Before we leave this screen, I want you to notice this blue bar area up at the top that says drag a column here to group by that column. We also move the OH or on-hand column. Before we leave this screen, I want you to notice the ascending order on that. All the number 600 Before we leave this screen, I want you to notice this blue bar area up at the top that says drag a column here to group by that column. We aren't going to go into detail on that right now, but I want you to know what it does. You can drag any column header up there, class, OH, list price, etc. Any column header you drag up to that blue bar and then release will tell the system you want to group by that column. For now, let's just close the parts number search window by clicking the Exit X next to Parts Number Search. That's it. Clicking the X brings us back full circle, back to the Release Essentials starter page for parts. We just completed a quick tour from an inventory clerk point of view. Ready for a knowledge check? If you got to this page, you must feel ready to test your knowledge. It's been my pleasure to work with you. I'll see you again in another course. Click the forward arrow to begin